This is Top 30. Coming up, the federal government is investigating a potential safety issue with Ford trucks. We finally have an answer to the great armrest debate. And if you win the lottery, you may want to start with the Neiman Marcus Christmas catalog. Hi there, welcome to the show. I'm Kristen Smith, and here are 30 things you need to know right now. The U.S. government has announced a massive recall due to exploding toilets. Flushmate has recalled over 1.4 million flushing systems called the Flushmate 2 501B. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says that pressure can build up inside the part and cause it to burst. That can lift the tank lid and even shatter the toilet from the inside, creating impact and laceration hazards. There have been over 1,400 reports of exploding tanks in the U.S. and Canada. Those incidents caused over $700,000 in property damage and more than 20 injuries. The systems were sold online and in stores, including Home Depot and Lowe's. They also came pre-installed in some toilets. The recalled part is a black plastic oval. A label on top has a 10-character model code that starts with an M and ends with an F. Consumers should stop using them immediately. Turn off the water supply to the toilet and flush to release pressure from the system. Flushmate says owners can contact them online for a free replacement and professional installation. All right, some more headlines for you. More than 400 companies will be giving their employees paid time off November 6th so they can go vote. It's part of a growing initiative called Time to Vote, and companies like Lyft, Walmart, PayPal, and Dick's Sporting Goods are all participating. And Steve Irwin's family continues to keep his legacy alive. His wife, Terry, and two children, Bindi and Robert, are launching a new show later this month on Animal Planet called Crikey, It's the Irwins.
When you say crikey, especially in the US, that's just such a classic Australian thing. And Dad, I think, really personified it. Like, he really coined that phrase.
And former Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor revealed she's in the beginning stages of dementia. Quote, probably Alzheimer's, she said. The 88-year-old retired in 2006, but was the first female justice to ever serve on the High Court. O'Connor said she received the diagnosis some time ago. And finally, watch as this dog, dressed in a Halloween costume as an elephant, loses steam and needs a little recharge. That's a pretty impressive trick. Now let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with Lauren Simonetti. Lauren, shoppers need to know about this first story.
That's right, Kristen. A huge food recall to tell you about. Millions of pounds of pre-made food items were called back due to a potential salmonella and listeria contamination. The items were sold at big retailers like Harris Teeter, Kroger, and Whole Foods. YouTube trying to make things right with millions of paying users affected by last week's outage. The video streaming service is offering a week of free service plus an apology to its YouTube TV subscribers. Subscribers to YouTube TV can head to the support page to apply for their credit. And Discovery and the PGA Tour are launching an international video streaming service next year. Golf TV will offer about 2,000 hours of live golf a year, as well as online programs. Discovery has over $2 billion investment in golf.
So what kind of events will Golf TV cover?
You'll be able to see nearly 150 tournaments, including the President's Cup and Players' Championship.
Good to know. Thanks, Lauren. Also joining us, our friend Headcrack at Dish Nation. He has the hottest celebrity news. So Headcrack, I hear Britney Spears might be sending a secret message to Justin Timberlake?
That's right, Kristen. Justin Timberlake might be a ladies' man, but he has one lady flipping out on him. Justin's ex-girlfriend, Britney Spears, posted a video of her practicing her gymnastics with a trainer. Now, during her practice, she was seen doing backflips to Justin's song, I Think She Knows, with the caption, nothing like flips in Mother Nature. Could she be sending him hints that she misses him, or is she flipping him off? Everyone at one point or another has had a Lil Trees air freshener in their car. I know I had a few. Well, Balenciaga is being sued for releasing keychains that look just like the popular air freshener. Lil Trees says Balenciaga never asked for permission and started selling copycats last month at its NYC store in Neiman Marcus. They even copied their colors. Now this, my friends, smells like trouble. Balenciaga is apparently barking up the wrong tree. And finally, Kim Kardashian opened up about a Paris robbery. She sat down with Alec Baldwin on his new talk show and opened up about her marriage and the incident. Kim says she's actually grateful for the frightening robbery because it made her open up and realize she was living in a bubble. She also talked about her family and how the show has proven how normal they are. Well, Kim, if that's normal, I need to get paid as much as you do for an Instagram post. I'm just saying. Well, anyway, that's today's dish. Until next time, holla at you later.
All right, thanks, Headcrack. For the latest celebrity news, watch Dish Nation weekdays. Check your local listings. Is it me, or does it seem like Halloween trends change almost as much as we change our clothes? Insider composed a list of the most popular Halloween costumes over the past century and how these trends have evolved. The early 1900s consisted of mass-produced paper costumes and spooky masks of jack-o'-lanterns and ghosts. The point was wear them once and throw them out. A while after, in the 1930s, boxed character costumes were all the rage. The costumes usually included masks of characters from popular cartoons or books like Snow White, Donald Duck, or Mickey Mouse. The movie E.T. rocked Halloween for the early 80s after its release in 1982, inspiring many to dress up as the friendly alien. The release of the movies Halloween 2, 3, 4, and 5 naturally dominated costumes in the late 80s, turning them gory and downright bloody. The 90s saw many turn to a lighter trend, dressing as brand name products like Tootsie Rolls and McDonald's French fries. In the early 2000s, political figures and sexy costumes dominated Halloween following government scandals and party culture. So what will we see this year? It looks like following pop culture will give you all the clues you need. Well, one airline says they've resolved an age-old debate. Who gets the armrests? Jetstar has declared that the passenger in the middle seat is entitled to both armrests. Yahoo reports the airline made the announcement in a press release, but won't enforce a specific rule. The announcement comes after the airline surveyed passengers to find out their biggest pet peeves. About a quarter said passengers hogging the shared armrests was their biggest mid-air annoyance. It was also the most common pet peeve. In second place was loud talking. 23% of flyers said it was the most annoying plane behavior. Coming in third with 17% was loud snoring during the flight. Etiquette experts say most passengers are increasingly protective of their personal space on planes, as the amount of room that comes with economy fares keeps shrinking. To avoid conflicts, try to be respectful and work with other passengers. The holidays are right around the corner, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the Neiman Marcus Christmas book. In its 92nd year, the catalog features over 800 high-end fashions, accessories, and stocking stuffers to satisfy all on your list. Items start under $20, but most attention is paid to the fantasy gifts, ranging from a million pieces of Sugarfina candy to a custom Harry Potter-inspired outfit from Oscar-winning costumer Colleen Atwood. Love tennis? For $555,000, you can join U.S. Open champ Sloane Stephens as she competes in the 4 majors in Paris, London, New York, and Melbourne. For $315,000, travel by private jet, helicopter, and limo to Las Vegas, where you'll become a secret agent. Hand-tailored suits and explosions included. But this year's biggest fantasy is a 74-foot Serenity yacht. The $7.1 million craft fits 12 people and is powered by 1,100 square feet of solar panels. With all these luxury gifts, let's just hope you've been nice. Still ahead, and you're not going to believe this one, parents are having chickenpox parties. And Cardi B is helping kids in need. Don't go anywhere. Top 30, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Top 30. When you think of Nebraska, you don't necessarily think vacation destination. And the State Tourism Commission agrees. So in effort to boost visitors, they've launched a new brutally honest campaign with slogans like, "Lucky for you, there's nothing to do here," and "Famous for our flat, boring landscape." State Tourism Director John Ricks said of the unconventional approach, "To make people listen, you have to hook them somehow. We had to shake people up." The Nebraska Tourism Commission added in a statement, "It was important to the Nebraska Tourism staff, marketing committee, and commissioners to be true to who we are and honest about what we are not." For a long time, Nebraska's slogan has been Nebraska nice, but now it's Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone. But since the campaign went public, there have been mixed emotions, and locals are either loving or hating the self-deprecating humor. I guess we'll find out how well it worked when next year's tourism numbers come out. All right, fewer calories, fewer pounds. That's usually the weight loss rule, right? But Paige Failing from Fox 46 Charlotte is here to tell us that's not always true. Isn't that right, Paige?
It is when you're talking about rice, apparently. Okay, so usually 1 cup of white rice has about 200 calories, but you can cut that by as much as 60% by adding coconut oil. But you have to add it the right way. So here's what you do. Ready? Just add a small amount to the water during the cooking process. Then you have to allow it to cool overnight. You're probably wondering why this helps cut calories by adding that. Well, experts in a new study out of Sri Lanka say that the fat molecules then get into the rice during the boiling process. Then they double as a digestive barrier, and then the cooling part makes the bonds in the rice form stronger resistant starches, which make it hard for digestive enzymes to break down. And bam, I'll be honest, I still don't quite understand exactly why, but doctors say do be careful when you eat it. You got to reheat that rice to piping hot and only reheat it once, which, Kristen, I do not envision being much of a problem because I will finish my entire serving of rice now every time, now that I know this.
This is life-changing. Such a great tip. Thanks, Paige. Now, a heads up, if you drive a Ford, the federal government is investigating a potential safety issue with Ford trucks. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says it's received owner complaints that tailgates on 2 Ford models are coming open on their own while driving. The issue affects 2017 F-250 and F-350 models. Over 54,000 trucks are under investigation. Some owners complain they've had to use ropes or bungee cords to keep tailgates shut. One said the tailgate opened at 65 miles per hour and damaged a trailer behind the vehicle. No injuries have been reported. Ford issued a technical service bulletin for the problem last year. The affected trucks have an electronic release for the tailgate. The company said the issue was caused by water getting into the wiring and recommended a fix. But the bulletin isn't the same as a recall, meaning owners could still be charged for repairs. The NHTSA will determine if Ford needs to recall the trucks. Ford spokesperson said the company is cooperating with the investigation. If you're a parent, you know some of the scariest news you can get is that your child is sick. But a group of Colorado parents are actually planning to make their kids sick. This group, which started on Facebook, worked together to plan chickenpox parties to intentionally infect their kids. The parents claim their motive is to build their kids' immune systems against the highly contagious disease. Some of the parents declined the vaccine for fear of the potential side effects. Lindsay Diamond, co-founder of Community Immunity, says the chance for serious complications is actually higher in people exposed to the virus naturally than those vaccinated. A poster in the Facebook group suggests enclosing the kids in a small space, like a tent, to make the virus spread as fast as possible. The CDC recommends children get vaccinated because there's no way to predict if a child will have a mild or a serious case. Symptoms of chickenpox include an itchy rash of blisters, fever, headache, and fatigue. If you believe your child may have contracted chickenpox or are considering chickenpox options for your child, please see a medical professional. Did you know light therapy is clinically proven to reduce fine lines and wrinkles? Which is why we have today's Top 30 steal, a Skin Clinical Reverse Light Therapy device at a special 76% discount. This anti-aging device improves skin texture, elasticity, and firmness by stimulating collagen production. It's basically a 3-minute facelift. You get results that you can actually see. This is the only FDA-cleared home-use full-face device that emits medical-grade light. Until now, that was only found in spas and doctors' offices. The light targets crow's feet, forehead lines, frown lines, oblique lines, smoker's lines, chin texture, and more. And don't worry, it's totally painless. You'll also get a bonus collagen serum, which really improves the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles because collagen makes skin thicker and more elastic. With just 3 minutes per day, you can be on your way to younger-looking skin. The Skin Clinical Reverse Light Therapy device retails for $333. But today you can buy it for just $79. That's a 76% discount. You can get this right now at morningsave.com while they last. Don't go anywhere. We have more things you need to know coming up. Welcome back. The beloved Dear Abby advice column has been appearing in newspapers since 1956, but a recent column sparked controversy, with some people calling its author racist. The column responded to a question from a reader about whether he should give his children Indian names or Western ones. The author, Gene Phillips, said he was right to be worried about giving his children Indian names and that he should opt for more American ones instead. She wrote, "Not only can foreign names be difficult to pronounce and spell, but they can also cause a child to be teased unmercilessly." Her advice didn't go over so well with readers. Some accused her of trying to whitewash American culture by dubbing foreign names inferior to Western ones. Padma Lakshmi, the host of Top Chef, tweeted her disagreement with the column, saying, "Names have meaning, they have history, they tell us who we are and where we come from." Others pointed to the irony that Jean Phillips' mother, Pauline Phillips, who started the Dear Abby column, went by a pen name herself. In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 5 New York, iconic rapper Cardi B is proud of her roots in the Bronx. But recently, she stepped out in Brooklyn to help kids in need. Cardi visited the Marlboro houses to hand out winter coats to children in the community. She was greeted by hundreds of screaming fans, and Cardi stressed it was important to use her fame to set a good example for the next generation.
It's important because we gotta set an example for the kids in the future. You know, sometimes people think that we just be doing the messed up things, but we really be caring for our kids.
In our second story from Fox 9 Minneapolis, the Minnesota Wild are a professional hockey team based in St. Paul. But it's what's happening off the ice that's getting the community talking. 8 Wild players are expecting babies within the coming months, more than enough to field another team.
I would put this team up for probably the record in the National Hockey League for most kids on the team.
After this baby boom is over, the team will have 41 kids between all of them, outnumbering the players nearly 2 to 1. And in our final story from Fox 29 Philadelphia, 7-year-old Ryan Bannon was born with special needs. And while he can't play sports, his older brother Chris made sure Ryan could still be the hero of the game. Chris plays on his high school's JV football team. And during a recent game, Chris pushed Ryan in his wheelchair all the way across the field for a touchdown the community will surely never forget.
It's happy to see doing something for him and how the rest of the team was supporting us with it.
Better yet, the opposing team joined in, cheering Ryan on and wearing wristbands to support him. All right, how about this next story? Less than a year after wrapping her 248-show residency at Planet Hollywood, Britney Spears is set to do it again. The pop princess has announced a new residency at the Park Theater to launch in February of 2019. With more, we're joined by New York City radio host Mike Adam. Mike, what should we expect from this new show?
So yeah, it looks like this residency is going to have much more of a hip-hop influence, more urban. That doesn't mean Britney Spears is going to run out on stage and start busting out some rap lyrics or anything like that. But think of the transitions in between songs. They're going to be having a hip-hop flair, the same with the wardrobes and the choreography, stuff like that. And the rumor is that Brit's team brought on board 2 creative directors that worked on J-Lo's residency. So you're absolutely going to see some of that influence.
Okay, so if Britney is back on stage in Vegas, what does this mean for her long-awaited 10th album?
Unfortunately, I feel like this will delay album number 10. You got to think Brit's making a little over $500,000 per show. She really needs to make sure this residency is amazing. Plus, Gaga is going to be on the Strip the same time as her, so I'm sure there'll be a little friendly competition. They'll want to outdo one another. That doesn't leave a lot of time for a new album, especially to promote it properly.
Well, new album or not, I am so excited to see this show. Thanks, Mike. All right, moving right along, the Vancouver Canucks have instituted a rather unconventional ban. Forward Bo Horvat revealed the Canucks have banned the popular video game Fortnite for the upcoming season. It's a drastic measure for an NHL team to take, and Winnipeg Jetstar Patrick Lane thinks it's a cop-out for their poor performance on the ice last year. He said, "I think they just needed something to blame after last year." The Canucks haven't made the playoffs since the 2014-15 season, but Canucks forward Jake Virtanen explained it this way: "I just think that where we want to go with our team, anything we can do to get better, that's a stepping stone. We want to be focused all the time when we come to the rink, but have fun at the same time." Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman Jake Gardiner spoke up in support of the Canucks, saying, "I wouldn't mind a ban either. Video games get out of control. You're on the road to spend time with teammates." There are more than 78 million gamers playing Fortnite, but less than 1,000 professional hockey players. So it looks like the Canucks are going to have to stick to fighting on the ice. We have more Top 30 after this. Welcome back to Top 30. Talk about a giant leap for mankind. By 2020, Chinese scientists plan to launch a man-made moon into the sky above the city of Chengdu. The Illumination satellite will sit just 310 miles overhead as a reflective coating brightens the night sky. The real moon orbits at 236,000 miles. Shining 1/5 as powerfully as a streetlight, reports indicate the new moon's brightness and coverage can be adjusted and fine-tuned, a useful tool during blackouts or natural disasters. While the cost of the artificial moon hasn't been disclosed yet, the team estimates it could save hundreds of millions in annual electricity costs. Still, more testing is needed. Researchers will head to uninhabited deserts to make sure the lunar satellites don't harm humans or nature with light pollution or clutter Earth's orbit. If all goes well, 3 more artificial moons could follow by 2022. And that's it for today's show. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's coming up on the next Top 30. The biggest lottery jackpot ever has Americans wondering what they could buy. Plus, Selma Blair shares her story of being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And these self-driving vans make game day easier for sports fans. You can also listen to today's biggest stories on the Top 30 podcast. It's all coming up on the next Top 30.